back, guys, to Pastor's Coffee. I'm Brooks. This is Stiff, and it's episode 70. How we doing?
Doing good. It's been a good week. We bought a new van yesterday. I did not tell you that. We bought a new
That's
van
a big
yesterday.
one. I knew you were looking at something, but I didn't
Yeah,
know you got it. Yeah,
Albina's not pregnant. Before anybody speculates, I've had a
that's
bunch of
what you're
people
gonna
ask.
get now, I guess. Yep.
She's not pregnant. We just wanted a new car, and the
Sweet.
minivan was a good option. Uh, I got a good deal on it. I wouldn't say the best deal, but I mean it was a good deal. Still a lot of money to pay
I
for
don't
a
know if there
car.
is a good deal on cars right
Yeah,
now.
as long as
Cars
it's
are expensive
free.
right now.
If it's free,
Yeah,
it's a good deal. Uh,
that's true. Yeah.
but other than that, it's been a good week. Have some church tonight. Tonight I'm in my first what's it called? It's a indoor soccer league.
Oh, you're
Uh,
kidding?
yeah. So
Neat.
tonight's the first game back there at goalie, and
Okay.
at my tallness at 5'5", you wouldn't expect it, but it's better back there than out on the field. So, uh, but I'm excited for it, and
Yeah,
Alex is in it, and so going over to the Y and
that'd be fun. Yeah.
tonight at kickoff at 9:45 p.m. So
Good
it's a late one.
grief. That
So
is.
it's nothing conflicts with that. So, uh,
Yeah.
but I'm excited for it.
That'd be fun though. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? How's your week going?
Going well. Yeah. It was looking like it wasn't going to be super busy, and then found a way that it ended up being. So that's okay. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of last couple of weeks. Well, we didn't do a podcast last week. We had a good event last week. Pretty exciting there, and yeah, it's just been kind of normal run of the mill stuff. And we started a new series on Sunday called "Thankful for the Word," and just kind of a challenge to the congregation for this month when you're thankful for so many things to be more intentional about being thankful for
Hmm.
God's word and being in it with more intentionality. So I'm excited to see how God might use that and stuff. But yeah, family's good. Um, I played basketball for the first time on Saturday that I had in the last, I don't know, JJ's 6 months old. I think I played once since he's been born. So
Mm,
like 5 months. Game
yeah.
after one game, I was gasping. I was sucking air and trying to just get my bearings. By the end of like the 2 hours or hour and a half, whatever we played, I finally started to get my rhythm. But man, those
I
first few
bet.
games, I was struggling. So
Yeah.
I hope to play more often. I don't know
I have a
when I'm
feeling
gonna be able
that
to.
might be like me tonight. I feel like tonight I'm
You'll
gonna
have
be
to let me
gassed.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, goalie may
Luckily
be okay.
goalie I might be
Yeah,
okay, but still
yeah,
whew. It's like
it's a lot of movement.
it was a hockey arena, and they turned it into an indoor
Oh,
arena.
interesting. Yeah,
So it's pretty small, and for 6 players on each team, it'll be interesting to see
a little tight. Yeah,
how it goes. So, but something that we both kind of have been thinking about, and I texted Brooks a couple weeks ago and said we should talk about it. Um, but in today's age, as we can see, AI has made a very big appearance in our. I don't even know what you would say in our lives. I guess.
yeah.
Um, we in college we talked about. I think we talked about it a little bit. How I mean,
Think so.
they're narrowing, cracking down on AI because I mean, people can just you can type in a prompt and it gives you whatever you want 500, 1,000, 1,500 words,
Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
um, and so I think as pastors, where our job is a lot of writing and researching, and you know, it can be very tempting to be like Chat GPT, give me a
Sure.
sermon.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so I just wanted to just throw that out there, see what you kind of have in mind with
Hmm.
AI. What's kind of your stance on it? Do you use it at all in your kind of daily life or weekly
Yeah.
life, or what? How has AI affected your life?
Sure. My first thought is, and I'll get into the ministry side of it. My first thought is just kind of awe and wonder that we are here right now and just thinking about where we could be in 5 years or even next year. That I don't know if scare is the right word, but it's kind of wild to think about if we're already here just with the video and image generation. That's more so what I'm kind of more interested in is like you can type in a prompt and image. Just I've used it for I'll just rattle myself. So Canva AI has a new feature now. So Canva, I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. Obviously, we've used it, but it's really helpful in terms of creating graphics and really helps you. There's a new AI of Canva sub-edit, and I've just messed around. Give me a graphic for this, or give me a graphic for this, and I mean, in 2 seconds you have it. So that is like my first thought is like if we're here now, think about the advancements in just a little bit more because it's like growing. But in terms of the ministry aspect, it's a and more so like education side of it. The worry is that the information won't be retained moving forward. I think we kind of started down a tough path when the online school really started to get prevalent. And don't get me wrong, I'm super thankful for um, online school. I'm 4 weeks away from completing my MDiv, and that would not have happened outside of online because I can't be in person right now. So super thankful for online. Um, but at the same time, I can 100% tell you I learned so much more in my undergrad in person than I have in my master's, just because you really get what you like put into it. So like if I'm skimming the reading, I'm not going to get the same thing as if I was, studying for a test or the same thing. But let me say this with AI. It's getting more and more tricky the more it grows and advances I mean, you can look on social media and a lot of people, even our prompts on when it generates clips. AI generates us captions, and it's getting more and more difficult to see, okay, is that AI? Is that not? And it's just going to continue to go that way the more real it gets. I'll say this. I use AI as a search engine. I think it's amazing when you can ask, give me 10 sources on this specific thing, and I don't have to go and vet each source. And it just immediately, in a second, gives me 10 sources and gives me a key thing from each one of them before I even start. That's unreal. That's unreal. Like that saves you so much time. In my sermon prep, um, let me know what this commentary says about this passage without me having to go and search for it. I mean, that just it makes your study time um, so much quicker. The danger is, and again, this is where my back and forth goes, is if I get it so quickly, then am I really retaining it the same way as if I open up the book or I search for it in a database and really search to find it, whereas I know exactly what I'm looking for and I got just that without learning anything else. So I guess that's the danger of it. But I think it's kind of the same thing. I know we weren't really, well, we definitely weren't around for the start of Google, but you can look up news articles and this same conversation was happening, the difference between a search engine and a book, well, a search engine, it just pops right up instead of a book, me going and looking into it. So I think used in that way, oh my goodness, the advancement is amazing. It saves you a ton of time. It just gets dangerous when are you really learning this or are you relying on a search engine to give you thoughts that are going to, fade away? What is your thoughts? I don't want to keep
Oh,
talking.
you
I've got some more I can bounce back, but
Yeah. I'll bounce back to what you said kind of earlier, how scary it is to how real it's getting, especially with the video
yeah,
part. I mean,
right.
I'll get, I'll get reels from Albina, and she's like, "Look at this kid! He almost got ate by an alligator." And I'm like, AI.
It's not
It's
real.
AI. It ain't. It. That's not how
Isn't
that
that
works.
crazy?
It's
Isn't
wild
that
though,
crazy though?
and I mean, again, we're just shouting out Brooks' TikTok every week. If you want to go see him play for the West Virginia Miners, you can
What?
go
That
check
was
out.
crazy.
That was
Oh my
wild,
goodness.
and that all comes
Yeah.
from a prompt, right? I mean, you didn't touch a
Just
thing of
type in a
video
prompt
editing,
and no,
and
no.
So it I don't know. I think people can be like, oh, don't ever use AI when it comes to ministry,
Yep.
and I'm sure they said the same thing about Google back in the
I
day
think
when
so.
what
Yeah.
the thing is, I will say AI is so much more dangerous than
Oh,
Google.
absolutely.
You know,
Completely agree.
you can literally, and I mean, I've done this just to see what it would say. I didn't preach from this, but just to say, hey, give me a 30-minute sermon, bang, and it gave it to me.
Sure.
And it
Yeah.
and imagine, you're gonna get people out there that do this, and they don't spend any time in the Word, and
Right.
they can be like, hey, give me a sermon, and it's given to them.
Yeah.
And kind of just to bounce off what you said, I think it's a great tool if if we're using it kind of as Google was intended to be.
Yes.
Give me a starting point, and I think that's a
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
great tool. I mean, we do the same thing with commentary, do we not? Do we do the same
I
thing
think
with
it's the same
Google?
thing.
Hey,
I
give me
think it
some
is. Yeah.
verses that might go with this verse, or give me
Right.
this to go with this.
I
When
don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yeah.
And I think when we make it a tool instead of the actual thing doing it,
Yes.
a companion maybe rather than the generator that it can be.
Yeah.
I think it's a great tool, just as a commentary would be, as Google can be.
Yeah.
And it honestly it's helped me broaden my vocabulary. I'm not a
Yeah.
big I'm not a big grammar kind of guy. I'm not a big how to use different words. How do I say this? Um, like I'll sometimes I'll be reading really old commentaries, and I'll copy and paste that commentary and say, hey, can you translate this into modern English? And it will translate it. And I
That's
say
unreal.
make sure it's rewrite this in modern language word for word, and
Yeah.
it'll rewrite it and it'll make me understand it better.
Yeah.
And it helped my vocabulary. But again, it's tempting. It's tempting to, I think we as pastors especially can have to be careful with the way we do use it and make sure it is a companion to us being the source. Obviously, the Lord is the source of our messages,
Sure.
but make sure that we are actually the ones writing it down. But I just wanted to maybe bounce it back to you and see you said you had some more thoughts. Go ahead and say those.
Well, there's so many different directions we could take it. Um, One thing that here's another aspect to this, and again, I don't know really how to go at this just kind of as a sensitive spot, but I think it's going to take a lot of jobs very soon. When I think about like the medical field, like Mackenzie's job, for instance,
Hmm.
and I hate to throw that out there, but
Yeah.
she takes MRIs, scans pictures, and you have a radiologist interpret it. I don't think we're that far away. I think you could really do it right now by having the picture, giving it to an AI program, and then reading the scan for you. You think about how much money is in the medical field and everything. You get some of these big medical bosses that think, well, I can just have a computer do everything that these people can do. Why would I
Yeah.
pay the money to have someone where I can keep the money and have a computer do it?
Yeah.
That's really where we're heading. Is like you look at all these different big industries, accountants, like you go down the list
Oh
of
yeah.
all these jobs, and man,
Hmm.
a computer's always going to do it better than we will.
Yeah.
In certain
Yeah.
jobs like that.
Yeah, and I think like you go back even to like high school and kind of college area where we see subjects like math. You
Yep.
know, and this is going to sound maybe stupid, but the invention of the calculator kind of got
Yeah.
rid of the reason to know basic math, and even
Yeah.
even harder things in math. When I was in high school, we had those very fancy calculators. I'm sure you did too, and you just punch
Yep.
it in, and it gives
Yep.
it to you.
Yep.
But now you never really had that for writing, and I think now you're
Yeah.
seeing people can write books with this.
I know.
I mean,
I know. You really can. Yeah.
and so I think we're kind of starting to
Yeah.
see, and this can get rid of the reason for schooling in some people's eyes. And
Maybe. Yeah.
and it's a scary thought. And I think we were using AI before this to try to look up some
Yeah.
topics
Right. Yeah.
for our next segment, but. I think as of right now, I think we're kind of good with people's jobs in some sense.
Right now. Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah.
but I mean, you give it a year or two,
That's what I'm saying.
it's
Where are we going to be? In a
where
few years?
even 10 years down the road, it's gonna be
It's gonna be a
scary.
different world. Different world. Yeah.
And I think another thing, this one other thing I was thinking about was social media has really. There's nothing original now. I
Yeah.
think with the invention of AI, they can recreate videos. They can make
Yeah.
AI make videos for them. They can.
Hmm.
There's not bad graphics out there anymore.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
hard to catch. It just and this is a con with it. I think is that our attention span is going to get so needy
Oh my.
for these new things and for this amazing thing where in let's just say 2020 the graphics and just the way things were presented on social media,
Yep.
if you would post some of the stuff you have now in 2020, it would blow up, where
It would.
today 4 views. I mean,
I know.
it's
I know.
insane. um,
Yeah.
there's so many pros and cons with it, and I can see a lot of the older generation being really not okay with this, and
Yeah.
I definitely can see their point, and I almost gravitate towards their point. I think it's a great tool, but again, like you kind of said, in-person schooling in the books,
Yeah.
in the Bible
Yeah.
is really
Just
where
retain
we
it
need
more.
to be.
Just retain
You
it more.
do.
Yeah.
When you put forth the effort to actually read a book,
Yeah.
it you're
Yeah.
going to retain it. Uh, and I'm just scared that we're going to get pastors out there now with this, and we have to be careful of having these other things do the work for us.
Yeah.
Man, pass the ball back over in your court.
Oh, you were killing it. Yeah, I think that's, I guess, just from our seats, it's going to be really tough to know authenticity.
Yeah,
When I think of like Ravi Zacharias, one of my childhood heroes, just kind of looking up to, and you were shocked to hear, the allegations after he passed, just because you heard this guy, you heard the words that he said, and you're like, there's no way that guy could have done something as awful as this. But it's going to get to the point to where you're hearing people say these amazing things, be able to exegete the words so well, but you have no clue their lives because they just had
hmm
a computer. They're just saying what a computer's told them to say, you
yeah,
know? So they're able to say these amazing things, and they'll be able to deceive a congregation into thinking that, and not that anybody's perfect, but that they are really in the Word and really studying, and behind closed doors, it hasn't affected them in any way. So I think that's really scary. I think 10, 15 years down the line, you're going to see so many more scandals from
yeah,
pastors because they haven't really been letting the Word affect them, in the
yeah.
same way. I hope I'm wrong, but I could just see that
hmm
happening.
Yeah, and I mean, we've technically we've seen some of this. I've seen multiple videos of people just plagiarizing sermon, um, and it's so much easier now. And I think that where you were getting at is it's gonna become the point where people are not gonna be original anymore. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
somebody can't preach on the same topic, but
Oh, sure. Yeah.
it's just getting to the point where it's gonna really affect us, especially as pastors. Um,
Well, I'll
you
tell you
know,
this. I'll tell you this. I got an email, and I don't want to say the group because I'm sure a lot of them mean well, but I got an email from a group that it was a free sermon planning calendar, and that's kind of what I was looking for. Like the next year was, I'd like to plan out my entire calendar. Like right now, it's just kind of series to series, and that's okay. But I'd kind of like at least um,
somewhat of a
an
vision.
idea, yeah, a little bit of a vision of where I'm going throughout the year. And if it changes, that's fine, but at least a picture of that. So it was this cool tool. it was yeah, it was an online calendar, and you could just like type in a passage, or say I wanted to preach from Galatians, preach the book. I could type in Galatians, and then I could slide it over, and I could say how many weeks I wanted it to go. It's like 7 or 8. So that in that way, it was really cool. But then when I started to go into it, there was a live stream a couple days after that, and it was like 500-600 pastors on this live stream. It may have even been more. That's just, I remember seeing that number, and they're all on here, and really they're copying the same calendar of all of them for the next year, and not just copying them, but this website, it has sermon series, and each series has the entire sermon in
Mm.
each one.
Yeah.
So there's no work being on. There's no Holy Spirit leading. And I
Yeah.
guess they could argue that, well, the Holy Spirit is leading us all together, and the Holy Spirit's going to lead you through these words that were already prepared. I think we've got to be the ones studying to show thyself approved,
Mm.
rightly dividing the word of truth, not letting somebody else rightly divide it for us. Now we can use
Yeah.
commentators, but us as workers of Christ, as Paul told Timothy, for us to
Yeah.
rightly divide it, because that's what God's called us to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I think where again we use it as a companion, and we make sure that we start in the Bible, and that with the Bible and the
Yeah.
Word of God,
Hmm.
um, praying to the Lord. That's where we get our source from, and I
Yes.
think you can't go wrong there. There's
Yeah.
going to be many tools out there, and maybe 20 years down the road we're going to have robots doing this for us, but you never know.
Who knows? Who knows? Yeah.
robots will be up there preaching. You need a youth pastor, get a robot.
That's right.
uh,
That's
so,
right.
it's crazy how this world has gone. But I think there can be some good in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so. But with that, do you have anything else you want to say before we transition over?
No, I think we could talk about this forever, but
Yeah.
I at
If
least
you have
got
any
to think about
questions,
it. Yeah.
if you have any questions, comment down below. That'd be great. If you have any questions on AI or just in general. So with the idea of Bibles, starting in the Word, we're going to do something a little different this week. Top 3 snake draft. What we're going to be doing is talking about Bible translations. I don't think we've done that on this podcast before. And so what we're going to do, top 3 snake draft here, is meaning Brooks going to go first if he wants to go first, or I'll go first, and then Brooks will go next, and we're going to do Bible translations.
Yes.
How would you like to determine who goes first?
You go first.
All right. I appreciate that. I don't think we will take the first ones.
We
I don't
won't.
think. I think I know where you're going to go. Number 1.
Yeah.
But you never know. My preferred translation is the extra spiritual version, the English Standard Version. I personally, that's the Bible I use the most. As I'm saying that, I don't even have it in here. My backpack's in the
man.
car.
Wow.
I went to get Leia, took her to the house, backpacked in the car, ran in here to record this.
That's funny.
Yeah, I actually don't know if I have. I'm not a pastor. I don't even think I have a Bible in here. I just use AI to write it all anyway. So.
That's right.
But I think I started to, when I first went to church to actually grow in my walk,
Yeah.
I kind of was led towards the ESV, and I think that's why
Yeah.
I just gravitate towards it the most. And honestly, and maybe this will affect where we go later, but going from the ESV to then ABC, where we use King James,
Right.
it was tricky for me.
Sure, yeah.
But anyway, I think my personal preference is the ESV.
I'm going to
Number
go, it flips to me. I'm going to go with the New King James
Nope.
version. It's just what my home church growing up, just what I was really kind of really formed with. Most of my memorized verses come from that translation, and I just feel most familiar with it. Is it a perfect translation? I don't think. I noticed that there's some probably Um, there's some things that probably could have been done a different way, but I love it. I think it's great. I feel very comfortable with it. So that would be my number one. It's not what I preach out of every week.
Okay. What do
Maybe
you
maybe
preach out of?
I preach out of the NIV, and
Okay.
the reason is just because that's what this church has always done.
Okay.
So I just picked it up instead of making everybody change to me. I changed for them. So I don't know if it'll always be that way because I'd love to eventually get back to like a New King James. I even feel a little bit more comfortable with the ESV, but the NIV. I mean, it's okay. It's just not one of my favorites, but it's just kind of this church's um, preference, and I've just
Yeah.
kind of stuck with that right now. So,
hmm
but yeah,
So you have back-to-back picks.
my next pick, um, I think just for the nostalgia and even memorizing verses, I still go back and even when I'm looking up verse references and everything, I think just because I'm in the NIV, I flip over the more drastic one. Really, if you take two opposites, you'd go King James NIV. Like it's just
Yeah.
completely flipped. Really old English to completely modern English. So it's just kind
hmm
of flipped. Um, so I would say the KJV is probably would have to be number two just because of its popularity, preference, just
Yeah.
standing the test of time. And you've got still some that say it's the only inspired version. Maybe we won't get into that today, um,
Next week.
but yeah, but still, just because of so many things, how God's used it, and really
For sure.
the story behind the King James is pretty amazing,
Yeah.
too. So I would say that's probably number two, just on the list.
All right. I guess we'll be okay. Uh, I've yeah. We can talk about that on another day. Um, we yeah, that'd be fun. Maybe that'll be episode 71. Um, so we have ESV for mine. You got New King James to the King James version.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take the old NASB, the NASB,
almost went there. I like Nasby. Yeah.
1995.
Okay.
In college, this is what Pastor Killen preached out of.
Yeah.
The church I went to, Maxwell Hill. And I've learned to really like that one. It's very similar to the ESV. It has a little more of, has like if the King James and the New King James and the ESV kind of had a baby, and
A little
you get
bit.
the
Yeah, a
you get
little
the
bit.
NASB out of that.
Yeah.
I think it holds true to more of that older language with still putting it into the modern.
Good spin. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, thirdly, Albina would kill me, I think, with this one. She likes the King James the most. That's just what she's used the most.
Sure. Sure.
And she memorizes out of King James.
Yeah.
I would probably also go. I would go with the NIV here, simply because that is what I originally got as a Bible.
Yeah.
I remember that was my first Bible that I ever had with the NIV, and
Yeah.
they're not against anybody else or your church apparently, but
That's what we've always done. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think there is some problems with it. However,
Yeah.
it's very easy to understand.
It is.
Um,
It is. Yeah.
and I think it's a great source, even for, let's say, I think for kids below youth. I think it's a great starting Bible, and that's what I started with. Till you get to learn English a little bit better, and then you can move up
Yeah.
to New King James, ESV, NASB. I think that's
Yeah.
a great.
Yeah.
Those are great starters for. I think especially the ESV and the NASB would be a good for a teen. I've had
Yeah.
people ask me what they think a teenager can read.
Right.
I just wasn't ever the best reader, and so if it made it easier for me to read, then I would more prone to read it. So,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
but number 3 for you.
My third one, and again, I kind of go back and forth. Right now, if we're making this kind of a current list, I would go. There's a fairly newer translation. I don't know how old it is. The Legacy,
hmm
it's Legacy edition. That's MacArthur's. They put together a kind of a group that kind of went and made their own translation. I really enjoyed it. I think it reads a lot like the NASB, and since you already took NASB, that's kind of,
Yeah.
you know, my spot. So I have a MacArthur Study Bible that's in it, and I've been enjoying it. So just kind of
Yeah.
a more of a common one for me. That's where I'd probably fall.
Yeah. I think those are great lists. Can't really go wrong with any of those,
No,
honestly.
no.
Any honorable mentions?
Um, other than NASB and ESV, I just really haven't. Um,
I haven't really broadened
those
my.
six really right there. That's really all I've ever kind
Yeah.
of studied. The Message I look up just to see how crazy it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, I really those six is kind of where
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I don't know where I'd say.
I don't know either, honestly. I was going to make a joke about the Message, so I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Uh, ABC's about to take our diplomas away, so we better stop talking.
That's right.
But no, I've grown to appreciate. I had a bad taste of King James in my mouth, of like just back in the day,
Yeah.
going from ESV going to ABC, and I hated
Oh,
it
it's
every
gone.
time it was. I hated
Completely.
every time it was read, and I was like, ah. And then I've come to appreciate, though, Albina's calmed my spirit about it.
There really is.
And
I mean, just the history behind it alone. Do I
yeah,
enjoy reading it more than other translations? No. But the way it was preserved and just kind of the originality of, getting it translated to English, it's amazing. So I
it
have
is.
to I have to hold
It
it
has to
high.
be up there. It has
Yeah.
to be up there, and I
Yeah.
think it's a great. Again, if memorizing is very pretty out of it, I think
Yeah.
as well. So, anyways, let us know what you think down below. Did we even put yours up there? I don't even know.
I don't know.
You can let us know about it. Let us know
Yeah.
if you liked it or if you didn't like it. But we hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Make sure to get into church tonight.
Yes.
Not that you're going to see this tonight, but make sure you
Maybe
get to church
Sunday.
tonight.
Yeah.
But make sure you're there on Sunday evening. Be a great time to go, Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we will see you guys whenever we see you guys, episode 71. Let us know what you want us to talk about down below, and we'll see you guys later.
See you all.